This story will begin in the battle against the legendary Saiyan Broly, because although both Saiyans used all their power, it was not necessary. That's right, the power possessed by the Saiyan Broly was amazing, so much so that even though he did not possess the divine key, he was able to defeat both Saiyans, so both had resorted to fusion. The battle that both Saiyans maintained was incredible, although Gogeta this time had the total advantage. The Saiyan Broly did not stop releasing power, so after a few moments, Gogeta would access the Super Saiyan Blue, with which the battle had become much more serious, in which with a great attack he was about to end Broly's life. However, with the help of the Dragon Spheres, Broly was teleported to his planet. The fusion of the powerful Gogeta was about to end, observing his entire panorama. Haha, that was fun! I'm still the Beast Tamer, no matter who it is! At the moment the fusion would end, in which both warriors had returned to normal, but Goku remained a bit thoughtful about everything that happened, so he would decide to break his limits once again, to which the Prince of the Saiyans would not be left behind, since at the moment Gogeta would telepathically communicate with Whis. Whis, please train me. I cannot believe that a Saiyan who does not have the divine energy like us has been able to defeat us, and due to resorting to the fusion. There will always be warriors of that type, but will Mr. Goku not train with us in the same way? I do not know where that insect has gone, but I'm sure he has gone to a place to perform a training in the same way, to break his limits. Haha, this will be very interesting. Okay, let's start with the training to the God of Destruction candidate. Vegeta was surprised by the proposal that Whis had offered him. That means that when Mr. Vegeta dies, I will be the new God of Destruction of the entire Universe 7? Exactly, Mr. Vegeta, since otherwise it is not possible for me to grant training to the God of Destruction. Mr. Beerus has thousands of years left to live. Okay, Whis, I accept the proposal to the God of Destruction when Mr. Beerus leaves this world. In that case, it would be better to go to the planet of Beerus at the beginning with the new training. Both had gone to the planet of the god Beerus, while for his part, Goku had resorted to the Room of Time, beginning to master each of his transformations from the most basic to the most powerful, to have total control over his internal energy. Broly's power has been incredible, but I cannot stay at this level. I have to be able to break all my limiters, Mosaic Saiyan. Goku, with his great determination, would begin to focus much more on each of his trainings. However, over time, Goku had been able to access the Ultra Instinct at request. However, his combat power had not increased in a way that the Mosaic Saiyan would like, since the Ultra Instinct was a state that made him completely intangible, but did not grant a growth of energy. Damn it! I have been able to master the Ultra Instinct, but I am not able to reach a new level. If an extremely powerful being appears, I'm sure he would be able to beat me, since his power would be more destructive. But without even Goku noticing, a powerful entity was observing the exhausting training that the Mosaic Saiyan was carrying out. But by getting a little closer, we are able to realize how this existence maintained an incredible size, while a fur covered his entire body. That's right, it was a beast, but not just any beast. This was the legendary sacred Ozaru. While Goku was training, a surprising pressure would be present in the Room of Time, which had left him surprised. But despite being transformed into the Ultra Instinct, that pressure had been able to completely bend him, being able that Goku is not able to move any of his muscles. That pressure being so devastating had even made him fall to the ground, and even the Room of Time would begin to change its appearance, beginning to be destroyed all over the place. Volcanoes, like stars, were created, and at the same time they were destroyed by all that beastly power.
What the hell? Who is all this power from? I knew that the Ultra Instinct would be effective with warriors of a power similar to mine, but with a warrior that makes me completely opaque, I will not be able to move as I am now. Everywhere, extremely giant steps could be heard, while a large silhouette could be observed all over the place. That silhouette left Goku surprised. But you are an Ozaru. Although your size is thousands of times larger than an ordinary Ozaru, I do not feel evil or bad intentions towards you. You will be the next legendary sacred Ozaru. Since your heart being pure, you are worthy of being entrusted with all my power. What? I do not understand anything at all. I will be part of your power, since after millions of years I have been in search of the warrior who is worthy, and you will be the warrior to bring glory to this multiverse. Say hello to the useless Zeno. He and I were great friends anyway. Without Goku being able to say anything, an incredible power began to enter his entire body, which at the moment strong screams of Goku would echo throughout the room of time. Since the power that Goku was unleashing was of an extremely incredible scale, so much so that it had formed multiple dimensional cracks. However, his power seemed to have no limits since it was still constantly increasing. Damn it! I do not understand almost anything, but I have to be able to close all these dimensional cracks or even destroy the Earth. Goku, concentrating to the maximum, was able to slightly decrease his power, but it was costing him too much, since too much blood was coming out all over the place, since the power that the sacred Ozaru would have granted him seemed to be limited. After a few weeks, Goku would fall to the ground, not being able to bear all the power of that beast. For its part, on the planet of Beerus, the training of the Prince of the Saiyan had begun, in which they concentrated mainly in the same way in the control of internal energy so that he is able to assimilate the power of destruction throughout his body. When he is able to control his internal energy 100%, we will begin with his new training, which will be the control of destructive energy, also known as the energy of the gods of destruction.
Vegeta was still in meditation pose, while his entire internal system maintained its stable power. Although this training seems to be the easiest, it really was the most difficult training that the Prince of the Saiyan was carrying out, since it was not a physical training. On the contrary, it was even a mental training, which he had never undergone. Going back to the room of time, 3 years had already passed, which in the outside world were equivalent to 3 days. Goku was able to wake up, but his whole body was extremely heavy due to the fact that the power of that beast had not been controlled at all. Goku would try to get up in his base state, since his body seemed to weigh tons, so when trying to transform, he was at risk of exploding due to all the excess energy. His base state would begin with his great training, which only focused on controlling his new power. Meanwhile, in a place very, very far from all the 12 universes, a skeleton-shaped warrior would stand up. I will eradicate him, and this time I will keep your power, whether you want it or not. Mezbel, which was the name of that powerful warrior, began to walk through his castle, but with each of his steps, thousands of catastrophes occurred outside, so a warrior would come face to face with Mezbel. My lord, what's going on? I can see that you are in a bad mood, but I'm sure all this is due to something specific. I don't want to talk to anyone right now, so you better get out of my sight. The warrior would leave, since otherwise his life could be in danger. I swear I will find you, and I will end your damn hope to completely eliminate evil. That is impossible, since I am the incarnation of evil, and ending my existence is impossible. Returning to the room of time, this training of Goku was costing him too much, since approximately 3 more years had passed, and Goku had not been able to master even 25% of all that power. Phew,
this is tiring. How much did that Ozaru have? But why was he looking for a successor or bearer? I don't understand, but I'm sure a very powerful warrior must be waiting for me somewhere in the 12 universes. For his part, in the kingdom of everything, Zeno was extremely bored, so he would ask for the presence of Grand Priest. "Tell me, my lord, what do you offer? Something I can help you with?" "Grand Priest, I'm very bored. Bring my friend Goku, please." "Okay, Zeno, at this very moment I will communicate with Mr. Goku." Grand Priest, with his great mental power, would try to communicate with Son Goku, but it would be impossible for him because he was not in any part of the 12 universes. So Grand Priest, a little disconcerted, would go to planet Earth. At the moment of arrival, the god of the Earth was surprised to realize that such existence was in front of him. "But it's Grand Priest Sama, the father of all angels and the guardian of the powerful Zeno. I don't know how you know my identity, although I assume that Mr. Goku must have told you about my existence. Tell me, powerful Grand Priest Sama, how can we help you?" "I'm looking for the warrior Son Goku, because the great Zeno has requested his presence." "Of course, Mr. Goku is training in the Room of Time. Please let me take him to where he is. I would greatly appreciate it." Both would arrive at the entrance of the Room of Time, so Dende would leave instantly. The great priest would enter that dimension, but he was surprised, since upon entering he had felt how the air had changed completely. That's right, the pressure would even force the great priest to expel 35% of all his power so as not to be so affected by that great pressure. But what is this? What is happening? It has not been more than 4 months since the power tournament was held, and Son Goku's power could not grow in such an unreal way. Grand Priest, upon observing Son Goku, was surprised, since it seemed that he had chosen the imperfect Ultra Instinct as his base state, but the energy that released his body was extremely incredible. Grand Priest, upon being trained to protect the powerful Zeno, was trained to withstand that great pressure, but it was surprising that a mere mortal released all that power. Grand Priest would get to where Son Goku was. "Oh, I'm sorry, Grand Priest Sama. I had not noticed your presence. Tell me, has something happened? You have left me surprised by the power you have been able to achieve in this short period of time. But I'm here because the great Zeno has requested your presence." "Oh, I understand. Right now I'm training, but can you inform me that one day I will go to the Kingdom of Everything, please?" "I understand, Mr. Goku. I will inform you." Grand Priest would leave, so Goku, with a look of determination and enthusiasm, would give himself. "In this day that I have left of training, I have to be able to dominate even if it is 50% of all this power. I want to surprise my friend Zeno, and in the same way, I want to have a battle with the Great Priest." So Goku would continue with his training, but while he trained, in all his aura, a great beast would form. The last day of Son Goku's training had ended, of which Goku had left the Room of Time with a totally different appearance, since his hair had changed completely, seeming to have had a new transformation. And although his pressure was amazing, at the same time his essence was warm, which had surprised the deities who were in the temple. "I am very grateful that you have allowed me to use the Room of Time. At this moment, I will leave to the Kingdom of Everything, because Zeno has requested my presence." Goku, with his teleportation, was able to reach the Kingdom of Everything in matter of seconds, so he had been received by Denshin-kan, which his astonishment was much greater. "What is happening? I cannot believe the power that Son Goku is able to achieve in one day, since until yesterday his power was completely different from now." "Hey, Denshin-kan, as I said, I'm already here." "Okay, Mr. Goku, please this way." Denshin-kan along with Goku would arrive to where Zeno was, which at the time had swung on his Gondra. "I have also missed you, little Zen, but what did you want to talk to me about?" "Goku, I'm very bored. I want to play with you. What do you think? What do you think if you watch a battle between the Great Priest and me?" Denshinkan, like his guardians, were very surprised. Yes, my best friend and my guardian fighting. I want to see a battle like that. My lord, it is not advisable a battle of that caliber, because the power of the great priest is much higher than the power of your friend. He could even end your life.
Do not worry, little Sen. I'm sure you'll get a big surprise. Trust me. Mr. Goku, I am aware that you have been able to achieve great power in this time, but unlike me, you do not have the opportunity, since I even have a greater experience that surpasses you by millions of years. I also want to measure myself with one of the 5 most powerful warriors of all the 12 universes. By the confidence you yourself have, I imagine you must possess incredible power. So it's okay. I accept your challenge. The platform would be created by Denshinkan quickly, in which at the moment both opponents would go down to the platform. I hope you do not trust yourself, Mr. Goku, since my attacks are detailed. I say the same, Denshinkan. I hope you do not trust yourself just because you are immortal. Both instantly released their power, with which this time they caused hundreds of catastrophes for all the 12 universes. Zeno, realizing everything that was happening, would reinforce each of the barriers that had been put on the platform. This battle seems to be one of the most fun. At the moment, both warriors began to exchange thousands of blows all over the place. That's right, both seemed to be very equal, because in neither of them the advantage could be observed. Denshinkan being a few centimeters away from being able to connect a blow to Goku's face, this one with a flash was able to position on one side of it, and with a double fist was able to send him to a different place on the platform, so the battle of both would expand throughout the kingdom of everything. Denshinkan, when he hit with the ground, had created great devastation everywhere, since the power with which he had been impacted was of another level. Ouch! That hurt me, damn it! Where have you been able to get so much power? But the most surprising was how he exploded his speed in a few seconds. Wow! That was amazing! I can't believe the power that my friend Goku has. Has Denshinkan trusted himself? I can't believe that a simple mortal has been able to authorize a blow with such power. Denshinkan at the moment would release a little more of all his power, so at the moment a great aura would rise all over the place, just like a surprising pressure had been able to cause several cuts in Son Goku's body. Wow, I can tell that you have a surprising power. I even think that I will have to raise my level a little more. Do you have more hidden power? I don't know how hell you have been able to get all that power, but it's something strange, and right now I will defeat you. Without Goku being able to release all his power, Denshinkan had connected a powerful blow that is almost capable of leaving him out of combat. So he had sent him to a part of the kingdom of everything, being dragged due to the power. I know you have a great resistance anyway, so I'm sure you will be able to withstand this attack. Galactic Atomizer. It would seem superficially a single attack, however it really was multiple attacks in one, so at the moment that Goku would be impacted, hundreds of explosions began to affect him. However, Denshinkan was surprised, since Goku, instead of being unconscious as Denshinkan had foreseen, could be observed how his appearance began to change, as well as all his power began to grow in an overwhelming way. That's right, Goku was accessing a state similar to that of the legendary Zaru, with which his body was capable of even supporting much more energy. What are you, Son Goku? No being either of divine energy or mortal energy could have such an energy growth. I can't believe the power this Saiyan is releasing. Is he really capable of beating Denshinkan?
Goku began to have an incredible transformation, in which this time all his body began to look like a great coat, so the imposing attack that Denshinkan had launched would be absolutely nothing against the power that Goku was releasing. At the time of a powerful roar, it would cause thousands of wrecks all over the place. Even the simple sonic wave had sent Denshinkan flying hundreds of meters, crashing into a part of the place. Both Guardians used a large part of their power to create a barrier and protect the King of Everything. But for his part, returning to the planet of Beerus, the Prince of the Saiyan had been able to dominate all his internal energy, so his power had grown in an incredible way. However, he was still unable to access the destructive energy. The power that he has been able to obtain in this time is incredible. It fills me with pride, Mr. Vegeta. But from this moment on, the real training begins. I'm ready for the training you want to grant me, Quiz. We will start training for about a month. His physical ability, so that his body is able to withstand the state beyond a god. That's what you want to hear, Quiz. Let's get started. Vegeta would start training with Quiz, who tried to hit him every day. However, it was impossible for the Prince of the Saiyan. Returning to the Kingdom of Everything, from a small explosion, Goku could be observed with a new, imposing appearance all over the place, while at the moment, all those present were surprised by all the power that Goku was able to release. How was he able to destroy my attack? I would understand that he had dodged it, but destroy it with his simple aura. This is a damn joke. Ha ha ha! You've made me use a lot more power than I had planned to use. So, Denshinkan, I know that you hide a lot more power. Use it all, since I'm sure that in your current state, you won't be able to do anything against me. Don't underestimate me. The power I'm using is more than necessary to defeat you. Ha! I warned you. I would grant you a little blow so that you are able to realize the true power I possess. Denshinkan would be on guard, but despite being prepared to receive Goku's blow, he was not able to do anything, since Goku, with a speed that even broke the sound barrier, was able to connect a slight blow to Denshinkan's stomach. Although for Goku it had seemed slight, Denshinkan would fall to the ground vomiting large amounts of blood all over the place. How was he able to hit him? I was not able to see absolutely anything. My friend's power is really incredible. I think only I am able to face him, although for that I will have to access my combat state. Damn it! That blow has hurt me too much. How was it? How was he able to hit me with such power? I had warned you, so it will be better that at this moment you use all your power, or with the next blow I will end this battle.
In a very distant place, in the castle of Mesvel, this one with a crystal sphere was observing all the combat. So that's the damn thing that was done with the power of the legendary sacred Saru? He is a mere mortal. This will be much easier than planned. My lord, how are you at this moment? Is there anything I can help you with? No, Susanoo, but in the next century I will finally get all the power of the sacred Saru, since its current bearer is a mere mortal. But my lord, with the respect you deserve, if that damn ape chose that mortal as his successor, it must be because his power is of another level. No, Susanoo, no matter how much talent he has, he is not capable of being compared to the power of a god, much less with the power of us who possess celestial energy. I understand, my lord, but it will be better to investigate the warrior who possesses such power. Returning to the battlefield, Grand Priest would begin to release all his power. That's right, He would not hide any of his power in this battle. Hundreds of stroindos could be perceived throughout the 12 universes, since being an angelic energy, all his children were able to feel the power that his father was releasing. What happened? Why has our father released all his power? But in the same way, in a very distant part of the whole place, Mikoshin, the mother of Grand Priest and one of the first existences to possess celestial energy in the same way, would notice how his only son had released 100% of all his power. Wow, what's going on in the multiverse of Zeno? Since for Grand Priest to release all his power, the warrior he must be facing must be terrifying. Mikoshin, with his great dimensional power, would begin to move between dimensions until he reached the battlefield without being perceived by any of the warriors, realizing himself as the king of everything, just as his guardians were observing the battle. Wow, apparently it's a friendly battle, but since I'm here, I want to observe the result of this great battle. Grand Priest had finished releasing all his power, so at the moment he would begin to approach Goku. You are the first mortal to make me use all my power, so I hope you are prepared. And it will be an honor for me to be in an equal battle with the Great Priest. At the moment, both, as if they were lightning, will begin to exchange thousands of blows all over the place, but their blows this time were capable of ending the half-universe. Grand Priest at the time was able to grant him a great blow that had sent Goku to fly, but when he fell to the ground, a great explosion would fall. Rocks which seemed indestructible had become simple sand. This is 100% of all my power. Apparently, you have not been able to assimilate so much power. But Grand Priest, before he was able to do anything, would fall out of combat, since Goku, like a flash, was able to grant him his last blow in the stomach, but the power had been so much that he had left him out of combat, although Goku would also fall out of combat due to the excessive use of his power. Wow, I cannot believe that within that mortal sleeps the power of the legendary sacred Saru, so for that reason he has all that power. The Guardians being about to fix each of the wrecks, Mikoshin would appear in the middle of the battlefield, making everything intact, but Elos as the Guardians were surprised to observe an existence as powerful as Mikoshin was. But it's Mikoshin-sama. Tell us, what can we do for you? I was just passing by the multiverse, and I wanted to know who these powers belong to. Mikoshin, without saying more words, would disappear from everywhere. Meanwhile, in the castle of Mezvel, this warrior would choose to change body to a much younger one, because the words of his servant had made him reflect. It will be better to adapt to a much younger body, since in the worst case, that warrior can be a real headache. Mezvel would begin to change body to that of a simple child, although his power had grown in an incredible way by compressing him into a much smaller body. A much younger body had decided a body of a warrior, although this time, at the time of a great crystal, had caused a small explosion throughout the castle they were in, so his subject would quickly enter the chamber of his lord, realizing a small child. I don't know who the hell you are, but I'll end your life. Upon entering the territory of a being of celestial energy, Susanoo would wield a great sword, so at the moment, with a celestial technique, he was able to grow the sword hundreds of times, so he began to approach Mezvel. Apparently, he has not been able to recognize me, but this is perfect to test my new body and power. Mezvel, who knew that his subject was not weak at all, would concentrate a large part of energy to be able to stop the sword. But to his surprise, he was able to stop the sword with only 2 fingers, which left both surprised. What? How was he able to stop my sword with only 2 fingers?
This is incredible. My destructive power exceeds Susanoo by dozens of times, but each one who used this technique had to use a large part of my power in all my arm. Susanoo at the time had launched against Mezvel, beginning to give him a beating, or that is what could be observed at first glance, since all the blows that Mezvel received did absolutely no harm to him. Susanoo would instantly invoke a giant of negative energy, with which he would grant him a powerful blow, which had made him fall to the lower part of the planet, creating great chaos everywhere. I don't know who the hell you are, damn you, but you receive one of my most powerful attacks. Susanoo would throw a gigantic energy sphere at Mezvel, which this time would be on guard, and with a single blow he was able to return such an incredible attack. I love this body. The only thing is that its physique is that of a simple human, but the condensed power is incredible. Damn it, the only one who would be able to do anything against you would be my king. Susanoo, I am your king, so don't worry. I took seriously the recommendation you gave me about that skeleton, so I decided to adapt a much more powerful body. Wow, but that body, although it looks like that of a simple child, the power it possesses is incredible. It even surpasses his previous body. I agree with you, but in the same way, I know that I can get a lot more potential out of him, and I will keep all the power of the legendary sacred Zaru.
Returning to the kingdom of everything, Goku and Den Hinkan had been sent to different chambers to be able to fully recover. The power they both released is incredible, but what amazes me the most is that even the powerful Mikoshin-sama was interested in this battle. My lord, it seems that Mr. Goku is about to wake up. Haha, what a good joke. That is impossible, since only 45 minutes have passed since they finished their fight. He could not recover in that short period of time. But at the moment, Zeno-sama was surprised to find out how Goku was standing in his state of ultra-imperfect instinct. The power of Den Hinkan is incredible, even for me. Apparently, we have a tie. Next time, I'm sure I'll be able to beat him completely. Goku, how have you been able to recover in this short period of time? The damage was not as serious as it seemed, and with your help and your guardians, I was able to accelerate my recovery. I appreciate it, little Zen. Goku, keep training, since the next fight you will have will be against me in my combat state. Wow, I didn't know you had a combat state, but of course, I'll be looking forward to the day I'm able to fight you, little Zen. Goku would leave again at the moment, but this time he would leave an inhospitable planet of the entire Universe 7 with the intention of controlling much more its internal energy, or rather, the power of the legendary sacred Ozaru. A battle of that difficulty is what I needed to get used to this power, since I have been able to dominate it at 60% of all its capacity. Meanwhile, returning to the planet of Beats, the physical training of the Prince of the Saiyan, with which on this occasion, Beats would grant him a little of his destructive energy, with which he should be able to dominate it. The energy that I have granted you is enough for you to be able to dominate it, and when you are able to access the state of God of Destruction, you must control that power. Exactly as Mr. Beats has said, when you have been able to opt for a destructive state, you must meditate again, since the energy destroys your enemy, but if you do not control it 100%, you can even destroy yourself. I am sure that I'm able to dominate that energy, since for the Prince of the Saiyan, there is no limit. Beats, by granting the necessary energy to the Prince of the Saiyan, his body as well as his aura had completely changed, because this time all his power was much more destructive. The Prince of the Saiyan, from a powerful release of all his power, was able to access the state of a god of destruction, but being a Saiyan, he would call that transformation as the Ultra Ego. It's amazing how Mr. Beats has been able to get it in this short period of time. It surprises me. I agree with you, Whis. I'm sure that the next time Goku and Beats face each other, Goku will have no chance against Vegeta. This power is incredible. I feel like I could defeat any warrior.
Do not let yourself be influenced by power, since you must be able to control it 100%, since the energy waste in that state is overwhelming. Mr. Vegeta, at this time we start with mental and spiritual training again, but this time so that you are able to control all the power of the state of the God of Destruction. Okay, Whis, although I already want to start with physical training, I want to test my new powers. Everything calmly, Mr. Vegeta, since you must have a good base with the control of your energy, or irreparable damage can occur to your energy system. Vegeta in his new state would begin to dominate all his power completely, while he was observed by Whis and Beats. Hey Whis, how long do you think it takes him to master his power 100%? I have no idea, Mr. Beats, although with the pace that goes and the past training, I think it should not take more than 2 months. I think it's very little time, since it even took me years to be able to master my state of God of Destruction. But there is a big difference between you and Mr. Vegeta, since for his part, he wants to become much more powerful, unlike you. Oh, Whis, that's not a joke. It's just that I've always been a prodigy, so I don't see any point in training. Even without training, I'm the God of Destruction more powerful. Mr. Beats, do not trust yourself, since in each universe there will always be capable of appearing much more powerful warriors who can overcome their power with incredible ease. Do not say stupid things. That's impossible, since the most powerful authority in each universe is their god, and it must be the most powerful warrior to be able to put order. I hope I'm wrong, Mr. Beats, but only time will be able to tell. For his part, on the planet that Goku was on, he was also on the top of a mountain in meditation pose, because if he wanted to control 100% of all the power of the sacred legendary Ozaru, he had to control his energy flow in the same way at the highest level. I never thought meditation would be a more difficult training than physical training. I feel like I'm not making any progress. But Goku, at the time of releasing his new power, or rather what he had controlled this time, at the moment of releasing it, an incredible Ozaru could be observed throughout Universe 7, because its size was colossal. Such an Ozaru could even be observed from the planet of Beerus. What is that? And I also feel an incredible pressure. Is that damn beast? Even my body feels an incredible terror. I don't know, Mr. Beerus, but apparently that is the transformation that the Saiyans used to use when observing the full moon. Vegeta, who was also meditating, felt like his whole body shuddered by such incredible power from that Ozaru, so at the moment Vegeta opened his eyes, he was surprised to observe such an incredible Ozaru. What is supposed to be? The size of an Ozaru cannot reach such scales. Even I feel how it is releasing an incredible pressure. Vegeta, we did not know if that power is a new ally or a new enemy, so we ask you if you can come with us. Of course, Whis, I will go, since that Ozaru only makes me understand one thing. A Saiyan has as much power to transform to such a size. The 3 warriors quickly left to where the center of energy of that Ozaru was located. For its part, even Goku had been surprised by that incredible power that his own body unleashed, so at the moment, in Goku's mind, the sacred Ozaru would communicate with Goku.
That is the representation of my spiritual form, so you, being the new sacred Zaru, can transform like this, always and when you see the largest moon of the 2 universes, also known as the Mega Luna, or invoke my spiritual form. Oh, I understand. I appreciate it very much, and I promise to be the warrior you have too much expectation for. I will protect this entire multiverse. I know you will, since your courage is capable of even giving life to other warriors, and with the power you possess now, I know that you will go even further than I once could. After a few minutes, the deities along with Vegeta had reached that planet, in which the Zaru had already disappeared. But everyone was surprised to find Goku meditating, while his aura remained calm and in the same way released a pressure that would intimidate any warrior. Mr. Goku, could the Zaru that could be observed a few moments ago be a part of your power? So long without seeing them, and you're right, Whis, I still don't control my power 100%, so I released a new technique that I've been perfecting. Don't say stupid things, Insect. You haven't had the divine training. You can't have a power greater than mine. What do you think if we have a little fight like the old days? I can't feel Son Goku's power in its entirety, but I'm sure Vegeta can't lose against Son Goku, since Vegeta is under the teachings of an angel, and he has even been able to dominate a part of the destructive energy. We can't be so sure of that, since Mr. Goku's power has left me surprised, because he is even able to make my body shudder. Vegeta would begin to access the Ultra Ego, since his body asked him to release all his power, so even the Prince of the Saiyans would release a power beyond the body his own body could support. However, very close to these warriors, Mezbel would be observing everything that happened, being prepared to attack Goku at the right time. Wow, Vegeta, I can see that you have incredible power, but you won't be able to do anything against me. Goku would only remain in the imperfect Ultra Instinct, with which at the time both began to exchange thousands of blows, and as surprising as it may seem, Vegeta was not able to connect a single blow, while Goku, for his part, had been able to connect fictitious blows to Vegeta's body. But at the time, Goku, having his senses much more developed, was able to perceive the essence of Mezbel. So Goku, with a powerful blow, had sent Vegeta to fly to one side of Beerusbub, and at the time he would create a barrier over the three warriors. "What's going on, Mr. Goku? Why did you leave us in this barrier?" But Beerusbub was surprised not to be able to see any warrior, only to observe how Goku had been sent to fly thousands of kilometers, causing great disasters all around. "So you were able to notice my presence. That seems incredible to me, but it won't be enough to face me." However, all the power that Goku had been able to master began to be released, beginning to access that mythical transformation that he had used against Grand Priest. But unlike before, the power that he released this time was overwhelming, so much so that the deities were surprised to realize the new transformation of the Saiyan. The incredible power of Goku would be present in each of the two universes, even being so much that it had been perceived to the kingdom of everything, which would even attract the attention of the great figures of that place. Goku is releasing all his power? How is it possible that someone forces him to use all his power? It is even much greater than the power he used against Grand Priest. "My lord, from what we have been able to investigate, a warrior in the same way is very close to Mr. Goku, but we are not able to measure his power." Zeno, with a great mental ability, was able to move through each of the two universes, being able to observe the subject. Who the hell is that warrior? I had never seen him, but it leaves me surprised that he is not affected by the incredible pressure that releases the whole body of Goku. For his part, Goku had at the time expelled his power to the limit that his body endured, so that instantly Goku, as if it were a flash, would deliver a powerful blow, causing a great disaster due to the power. However, Mezbel was able to stop Goku's blow with one of his hands, which left everyone surprised. Now I understand why Mr. Goku has locked us in a barrier, but I am not able to understand the power that his enemy possesses. It is a gigantic power. Hey Whis, this must be a damn nightmare. A warrior cannot possess such a great power. I agree with you, Mr. Beerus. I do not know how Mr. Goku has been able to get all that power in this short period of time, but the warrior he is facing and we the angels are able to do something to them. Again, they observed how Goku had been sent to fly thousands of kilometers throughout Universe 7, so at the moment, Mezbel would move at a flashing speed, with which, at the time, he was able to give him a blow. The difference in powers was so great that this time Goku was not even able to defend himself. While Goku received the beating of his life, he would give himself. This is the power that I am able to bear, but I think I have to take my body to the limit, since otherwise this damn dwarf is gonna kill me. Mezbel would instantly hold Goku with one of his legs, beginning to hit his body against all the planets that were around him, causing him an abysmal damage, because this time his body as well as his internal system were being affected in an unparalleled way. Even his energy veins seemed to explode. What happened? I thought the bearer of the legendary sacred bear would be much more powerful, but you are nothing more than garbage. You deserve to die. Ouch, that hurt me too much, but at this moment I will overcome all my limits. Goku with great difficulty managed to stand up, despite the immense damage he had suffered. Inside his body, his internal system began to function in an unusual way, transporting an amount of energy 100 times more than normal.
At this moment, a loud roar resounded through all 12 universes, shaking every corner of existence. Goku's body began to transform. A silver coat covered his skin, while his hair acquired the same bright tone, radiating a divine energy that exceeded all imaginable levels. His power increased thousands of times more, reaching levels that had never been conceived before. Even Zeno's saga, the king of all, felt how the pressure of that power could threaten his own existence. Despite this unprecedented demonstration of strength, Mezbel remained motionless, observing with calmness and confidence, without moving a single finger.
The tension was absolute, and the battle between these two titans seemed to be about to reach a new climax. Do not worry. I want you to release all your power, because no matter what you do in this universe, it will be your grave, and I will keep all the power of the legendary sacred Saru. Goku would not say absolutely anything. He was only focused on releasing all his power, and that his body does not explode in the process. But in Goku's mind, he was able to observe the legendary sacred Saru while pointing to a great door. Amo, you do not have to worry. I will be your shield, and I will not let you die against the damned Mezbel. If you die in this battle, for me it will be an honor to fight by your side. In that case, I will not resist. I plan to use all the power of the sacred Saru. I know that your hard skin will be my shield, since your resistance is much greater than mine. I count on that, Amo, and in case you need more power, you can access this door, since it contains the power of the supermoon of the 12 universes, which gives us a gigantic power for only 12 minutes, but then we have a 90% chance of dying. But it will be an honor if we both go to the other world with Mezmel. Goku, without fear of his body exploding, this time he would begin to release much more power. Even his muscles began to grow in an exponential way, while each of his veins of energy seemed to explode due to the excess of power they were carrying. At the moment, a great explosion that was capable of being observed from all the two universes would be present, while Goku's shape had changed drastically. At this time, even his body looked like that of a beast being of a silver color. I'm ready. This is all the power of the legendary sacred Zero. Wow, it seems incredible to me, but you will need much more than that to be able to face me. I am not any insect that you have defeated before. Goku would move at great speed, which Mezbel would not stay behind. Both at the moment began to exchange millions of blows for each of the 12 universes. Even the King of Everything was not able to do anything, only to remain a spectator, because the level of this battle even exceeded his expectations. This is incredible. I never thought that Goku's power would go so far. This time, he has even been able to overcome my combat state. Goku can defeat me without effort. My lord, you who are the king of everything, you must protect each of the 12 universes, and if necessary, we will join you so that you can access 100% of all your power. You are right. I, as the king of everything, have to maintain order in this multiverse. Zeno, at the moment, would begin to access his combat state with the help of his guardians to be able to release much more power, because hundreds of planets for each of the two universes began to be destroyed, and with all this, the lives of thousands of inhabitants. Zeno, at the moment, was able to access his combat state, with which, without wasting time, he would move to the center of the two universes, in which he began to channel a large part of all his power, with the intention of placing barriers in each of the universes and planets. Meanwhile, returning to the Kingdom of Everything, Grand Priest would finally have awakened after his great battle against Goku, but he was surprised to be dragged to the ground by a surprising pressure, which did not even let him breathe normally. What the hell is going on? I can't believe all this power that is being released in Universe 7. Has your new enemy appeared? Grand Priest at the moment would equally expel a large part of all his power, being able to feel the essence of the powerful Zeno, so at the moment he would quickly reach a side of his king, being surprised how the king of everything is channeling all his power in order to protect each of the two universes. My lord, an apology, but what is happening? Who are the beings that are causing such devastation of the two universes? Zeno, being channeling his power, could not explain what happened to Grand Priest, so at the moment he would transmit everything that happened to him. Thanks to his incredible mental power, Grand Priest was surprised, and in the same way, he would begin to channel his power to protect each of the two universes. My lord, if we do it together, it will be much easier, and we must trust in Mr. Goku. He will be the savior of this multiverse. Returning to the battlefield, both warriors at this time seemed very equal, since the blows that both were granted were very similar. Like the power, however, Goku's power as the battle went on would begin to plummet, while Mezbel had only used 66% of all his power, so he was very confident. At the moment, Mezbel would increase his power to 80%, being able to provide him with an impressive blow, destroying the planet in which Goku would be thrown. Haha, I realize that you have great power, but that will not be enough for you to be able to do anything against me. You are still a simple worm. Goku's body would expel large amounts of blood as he began to crawl all over the place because his limbs had been completely destroyed. Damn it, we being the deities of this universe, we are not able to do absolutely anything. This irritates me. But Mr. Beerus, we are not able to do anything since we do not even have the necessary power to get out of this barrier. No, Kakarot still has an ace up his sleeve. I know him, and I know that he will not give up so easily. We trust you, insect. Mezbel at the moment would begin to approach while he began to load a small sphere of energy in the palm of his hand. But to his surprise, Goku's power this time had completely changed because his fur disappeared while celestial marks began to appear throughout his body, just as all his power ceased to be felt by beings of common divine energy. That's right, Goku had accessed the door of the 12 Supreme Moons, or in the same way known as the 12 Universal Moons, which give an unreal power to the sacred Zaru, and Goku, being his bearer, was able to be benefited by all that power, which this time would even cause a chill throughout Mezbel's body, because the energy he released was in the same dimension of power. It was no longer inferior to Mezbel, which left him surprised. Damn it, I don't know where you are able to get so much power, but it doesn't matter since your body is made of pieces. You won't be able to master all that power.
Goku from a small explosion can be seen with a much more intimidating appearance, while his cold gaze observed Mezbel fixedly. I don't care who the hell you are, or why you want the power that has been granted to me, but by putting each of the 12 universes at risk, I plan to annihilate you. Mezbel, this time, before being able to say anything, was thrown into some rocks with superhuman power, which would even destroy several of his ribs in the process, which would cause Mezbel to vomit large amounts of blood all over the place. How was he able to hit me with that incredible speed? I was only able to see a flash, but I was not able to notice when he hit me. I have to use 100% of all my power, since this battle is getting much longer than planned. Mezbel would instantly release 100% of all his power, with which he had also thrown himself against Goku. At the moment they both began the final battle of the Divine Kingdom. The blows that both granted at this time were blows capable of destroying universes. Goku at the time would receive a powerful blow, being sent to fly, but while Goku fell, he was able to invoke a part of the body of the sacred bear, which with a powerful roar was also able to send him to fly. Both would fall in terrible condition, even their legs trembled due to the excess of energy. Damn it, Worm, for good choice having chosen to have a new body, since otherwise he would have died a long time ago, but this body has much more power. Mezbel in this moment would release much more power than his body was able to support. The power, despite being surprising, had subtracted a large part of his speed, which Goku would take advantage of to give him thousands of blows all over his body, being able to destroy several veins of energy. Meanwhile, in the castle of Mezbel, Susanoo, who was observing everything that happened, likewise had been very surprised. I cannot allow my king to be hurt in this way. I have to do something, since otherwise my king can lose his life. This is how Susanoo at great speed would begin to move throughout the infinite space, while Goku began to destroy each part of his resistance, with the intention of causing a great explosion with which he would be able to end Mezbel's life once and for all. Damn it, I only have 2 minutes left of all this power. I have to achieve it. Goku, even activating his iconic technique, the Kaioken, increasing his power by 100 times, would explode. However, the time would be shortened to only a minute, in which Goku would use his powerful Dragon Blow, destroying almost all his veins of energy. But at the moment, Goku at great speed would move towards Mezbel. If I die, it will be an honor to end the life of one of the most powerful warriors I have ever faced, so there is nothing to lose. Goku at the time was able to channel all his energy, while in the same way, energy from all the 12 universes gathered in his body, and without prior notice, a gigantic explosion would begin to pulverize both warriors. For his part, the shield of the sacred bear was supporting the explosion, while Mezbel began to perish imminently, but Susanoo would arrive unable to save his life, although he had also ended with fatal wounds all over his body. Goku at the time would fall to a planet being rescued by the divine beings, which after a while had even made a statue in his name. Meanwhile, returning to the kingdom of Mezbel, he was at rest for several months, in which he still did not wake up, but in case he did, he had a clear goal: to end the bearer of the sacred bear completely. That battle had given the end of a new era, but everything was very far from the reality, since after 5 years, all 12 universes had returned to normal. My lord, apparently everything has returned to normal, since after 5 years the power of Mezbel has been completely lost. It is true that the power of Mezbel has completely disappeared, but I don't know why I still feel very intrigued. I feel that none of this has ended. I understand, my lord. In the same way, I will inform all the gods and angels to remain on alert in case an anomaly occurs. Denshinkan would use his mental power with which he was able to communicate with each of the angels to communicate the information of the great Zeno. Gods and angels, I want you to remain on alert, since something is not going well in the 12 universes, since it seems that we are still on maximum alert. As you order, Denshinkan-sama. On the other hand, returning to planet Earth, Goku was at sea training with Vegeta, since in this great battle, Goku had realized that if he wanted to become much more powerful, he needed his companions to obtain great powers in the same way. Your power is incredible, Vegeta, but you are not at my level yet. That is obvious, Insect. The power that I possess is completely mine. It is not like yours that a legendary Ozaru has given it to you. Don't worry, Vegeta, since in the same way I have something very special for you, but we have to keep becoming powerful. His battle would spread throughout planet Earth without causing damage, so at the moment Goku with a powerful blow was able to send Vegeta flying, leaving him out of combat, creating a small explosion all around. Phew, luckily we have moved away from the city, since otherwise hundreds of people would have been affected by this chaos. Goku would begin to approach where Vegeta had fallen, so it would be noticeable that the Prince of the Saiyans was completely shocked. I'm fed up. No matter how hard I try, you always find a way to overcome me, but I promise I have no intention of staying behind you, Kakarot. Apparently it is time, Vegeta. It will be better if we go to the Room of Time, since we will start with a great training. Damn it, Worm. At this moment I do not have the courage to train more with you. I want to become much more powerful on my own. Vegeta, please trust me, since right now we both will be able to become much more powerful. It's all right, damn it, but if it's one of you stupidities, I'll leave. Both warriors at great speed had headed towards the Room of Time. The moment Goku entered, he would expel a large part of his power, since he had been able to combine all the power of the sacred bear with his state of Ultra Instinct. Due to this, a great light would rise all over the place, while an incredible pressure would fall on all Vegeta's body. What the hell is this insect? But I have no intention of leaving you opaque. Vegeta, despite that his bones were destroyed, would give a smile by expelling the power of an authentic god of destruction.
That's right. All this time, Vegeta had been able to master the power of a god completely, with which he was able to repel a little the incredible aura of Goku, despite not completely repelling it. Vegeta was able to stand up with a little difficulty. What is this supposed to be, Kakarot? No matter what kind of training it is, your power is much greater than mine. I have to accept it. That is not the Vegeta I know, since the Vegeta who was my rival would never let me surpass him so easily. And you're right, this power is partly thanks to the Zaru, but I will not be the only Supreme Zaru, since your partner deserves to be so. What? What the hell are you telling me? I do not understand anything of what you tell me. Goku, at that moment of a quick movement, was able to give him a slight blow to his heart. But that blow was different, since at the moment an incredible power would begin to travel throughout Vegeta's body, while his chest began to burn in an amazing way. Vegeta at the moment would expel his power, managing to elevate an incredible aura of purple fire. That's right, it was the color of a god of destruction, of his destructive energy. I'm sure Vegeta will be able to dominate the power of the Supreme Zaru. For that reason, I have been reserving a part of that power. Vegeta, at the moment of an incredible scream, would generate a great explosion everywhere. But to the surprise of even Goku, Vegeta had